We're here with Parent ProTech, and before you tap add to cart on that new gadget that your child really wants, we're here to make sure that it doesn't just add a few more gray hairs to your head. Right, Melvin?
100%. That's the last thing I need, more gray hair. Now, thank you so much for joining us on our Parent ProTech Holiday Gift Guide video where we're going over some of the best safe tech out there for your family. My name is Melvin, and we have Joshua, and joining us, a special guest.
We have Olive. She's a big holiday girly, so she wanted to be on.
Yep.
And also, we just wanted to share a quick disclaimer. You might be seeing this and thinking that companies are paying us to be talked about, and they're actually not. We've connected with many of these teams and companies, and they're making products with kids in mind, with families in mind, and they aren't just here to addict your kids and reel them back in for tech like a lot of big tech is today. So we aren't getting paid to feature these companies. Now, granted, if you purchase a company from an affiliate link, we may make a few bucks or maybe less, but they aren't paying us to talk about them. We've reached out to them because we believe in the work they're doing.
Now, as I mentioned before, we will be going over the best safe tech for your family, and we'll leave a link in the description for our holiday gift guide, which will have a link for each item that we'll mention throughout the video. So we're going to jump right into a hot topic, which is smartphones. Now, we do have some great options for you for safe smartphones for your family. And the first one we're going to go over is the Bark phone. Now, this is a kid's safe smartphone, but it has a twist. Now, the twist is that the Bark uses AI to detect any red flags related to bullying, predation, self-harm, explicit content, and more. And what's different about Bark is that they take more of a holistic approach, right? Most smartphones just deal with parental controls, restrictions, and time limits, screen time limits, things like that. But Bark takes that more holistic approach where they really focus on your mental health. And one thing each plan with Bark includes is Talkspace, which is a platform that offers online therapy with licensed therapists. So I think that's pretty awesome. And that's a great approach to take where they're not just thinking about just, the tech, but they're also thinking about the mental health of children, which is a very unique offering.
And Melvin, one thing I'd add on the Bark phone too, a couple years ago, my wife Alexa and I tested the Bark phone. And when it comes to their AI monitoring, it's actually really fast. So I was surprised how just within minutes, sometimes seconds of a message being sent, of something being searched on the Bark phone, their AI would flag it. So then on your parent account, you could see that and begin a conversation with your child if there's anything that you might not want them talking about, looking at, or texting about. And also, Olive's going to get back to playing with toys. So thanks for letting Olive join us.
All right, now switching over to the Gabb phone, they offer two different phones, which I have here with me. Now, the Gabb Phone 4 and then the Gabb Phone 4 Pro. Now, the Gabb 4 is geared toward 9 to 14-year-olds, and then the Gabb Phone 4 Pro is geared toward teens, 13 to about 18 years old, according to their website. Now, the biggest difference between the two outside of the quality, like the Gabb Phone 4 Pro does have a better build quality, but the other big difference is that the Gabb Phone 4 Pro, you can add a ton of apps, of course, with your consent as a parent. So there's a lot of apps like the ESPN, Disney, Duolingo, a lot of apps that you can add on here that you can't add on the Gabb Phone 4. They're both awesome devices. I got to test these myself. And I think that they're both really awesome. One thing that I will add is that they have Gabb Music, which is a big deal. I mean, it's like basically Spotify, except all of the content in the library is safe for kids and for teens. So you won't find any like explicit music on there, which I think is pretty cool. And there's also like a lot of popular music. So it's not like it's just, the Wiggles or like kids baby music, but it has like pop hits, hip hop, and all kinds of categories on there as well.
Kids Bop. So, does it have Kids Bop, Melvin?
I'm sure it has Kids Bops. Yes. Where are we at? Kids Bop 130? Probably. At least, right? Yeah, it's been going on forever. But then the last phone I want to go over is the Troomi phone. Now, this phone offers quite a lot of features. I mean, you can pretty much install any app from the Google Play Store with, of course, your consent as a parent. There is a safe browser available, and then there's also an optional AI chatbot. Also, during this holiday season, they're actually giving this phone away for free with a new line activation. That's right, free, which is also one of my favorite words, along with complimentary. Those are my two favorite words. So if I say free or complimentary, you've got my attention.
Except for complimentary valet, because they never really mean it. You need to tip.
You still need to tip. Yeah. Wait. Okay. Now I know. No wonder they're looking at me weird when I when I go to walk away. There,
Just
I'm always like, yeah. So I'll remember that next time.
Yeah.
So make sure you check out our Ultimate Kids Safe Smartphone review video, where I just take a bunch of these kid safe smartphones and just review them, and then tell you about some of the pros, some of the cons, and some of the things that you want to look out for and see which one's the best fit for your family. Now, I go over plans and pricing and things like that. So we'll be sure to leave the link in the description for that video.
Also, Melvin, while you're talking about these smartphones, I think it's cool to note that you've even interviewed the CEO of Troomi. Brock and I from our team have sat down with Titania and many others from the Bark team. We've gotten to know these teams and these people. And if you're a parent who's interested in learning more, I'd encourage you, check out those conversations, and you can even see more of their heart and their why and kind of how they build these devices with kids in mind.
Now, jumping into our next category, we have smartwatches, which is another real hot topic. I mean, smartwatches is very, very popular amongst kids and families, and it's just a great way to keep track of where your child is and be able to communicate with your child throughout the day. So one thing to keep in mind, that every watch that we include in our holiday gift guide will have location tracking. It will also each have an ability to either call or text, and also include emergency calling. So first up, we have the Bark Watch. Again, the Bark Watch is so much like the smartphone in that they use AI to detect all of those red flags that I mentioned earlier. And this watch is, I mean, it's a distraction-free watch. So you can only send texts, make phone calls with SOS emergency calls, and then it does have the GPS location tracking, but you'll notice that it doesn't have a lot of the other features that the other watches have. So if distraction is a big thing for you and your family, then Bark Watch is just a great option. And then next up, we have the Cosmo JrTrack 5, which Cosmo is just a great watch. I mean, their team is awesome. We've met with the team. We've met with the Bark team. They're just awesome people who just really wants to keep kids safe when it comes to tech. So the Cosmo JrTrack 5 is packed with a bunch of features. I don't have the time to go over every single one, but just know that it does have an advanced location technology where you can accurately track your child with accuracy without compromising your battery. Also, there's an app store where you as a parent can add kid-friendly apps to your child's watch, like Spotify Kids, iHeartRadio. You can add games and more. I know personally my daughter, she's used this watch before, and I have it here, and she loves it. Like, she loves all that it has to offer, and I love the peace of mind that comes with it. I know that there's not going to be anything crazy on here, and then you, of course, can add, along with all the other watches, an approved contact list to make sure that you know who they're communicating with. We'll leave a link in the description for the Cosmo watch, because if you use the promo code DEAL50, you get 50% off.
And as we're talking about smartwatches too, I got to highlight, Melvin, you have the full video review that we'll link here, but you've tested all of these with your daughter and your family. So this isn't like some far off recommendation that we're giving, like, oh, we read a description on the website, we're trying to sum it up. No, Melvin, well, I haven't tested all of these. I've tested some, but not all. But Melvin has tested all of them. So, and his daughter. So he can vouch for how legit they are and how well they work in the real world, not just on paper. So.
Exactly. And one thing I like to be is transparent. So I will tell you some of the things and flaws that I've noticed, some of the good, strong points. And yeah, as you mentioned, I had at one point just probably like 8 watches on my sleeves. So I got to review these, and it was fun. And it really gave me hope that there is tech out there that's safe for our kids. So Next up, I did want to talk about the TickTalk 5 watch, which this watch is durable, it's customizable, and I mean, it's just a fun watch. Comes with all you want in a kid's smartwatch, but you also get video calling, which if you want to see your child's cute face here more often, well, I mean, there you have it. So, yeah, as you mentioned, Joshua, I did a video, so we'll make sure to link that in the description. And now, before you take it away, Joshua, with tablets, I want to discuss what's your favorite holiday song?
Well, no, November 1, Mariah Carey thaws out every year with All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's my favorite. To be honest, that just, to me, that signals that it's time for the the holiday celebration to begin. But my favorite, I really love some like old school, talking like Bing Crosby, Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
Just that's an absolute vibe. Some Christmas jazz on a dark evening, like come on, with some
With some
peppermint
hot
ice
chocolate.
cream, hot chocolate, or Bluebell just released a peppermint ice cream flavor. 100% here for it. So that to me, that is the ultimate like holiday vibe. Like I'm content. What about
And
you?
it's
What's your favorite song?
no, yeah, that sounds like a great time. My favorite, I would have to say, is "Carol of the Bells."
Carol of the
That
Bell.
yeah,
That's
that
unexpected. Okay.
that song. Well, it's in Home Alone,
Oh, that's
and
right.
they use it in Home Alone, and it's just like one of those great transition songs in the movie where he's
Yeah.
like, "I gotta protect my house," and he just kind of like,
Yeah. That's when
like
Kevin
the movie
like
switches.
yeah, he's locked in. Like he's like
He
for yeah. Okay, that's right.
Yeah, he's locked in, he's in the zone, and it just brings so much nostalgia. So I love that song growing up, still do to this day. But yeah, that's my favorite holiday song.
What a vibe. This is getting me excited, man.
Yeah, right.
Says
Let's go ahead and wrap some presents.
yeah. Regardless of when you're watching this, we're recording it early, so you know it. If I wear this out in public, I might get some looks right now. But so this is getting me in the spirit, like 100%.
Yeah, I love
Actually,
it.
if I wear this in public, I might get looks regardless. But
Yeah, year round. Doesn't matter if it's December or
yeah,
July.
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Next up, we're talking about tablets. Now, I'm curious, Melvin. You're a dad. I'm not a dad yet. I hope to be a dad one day. I'm not a dad.
But you're a
Uh,
dog dad.
I am a dog dad. I mean, we've
Yeah.
met all, so I am a dog dad.
Yes.
But at what point was a tablet introduced in your home? Like, or how have you navigated the world of having a tablet with your daughter?
Yeah, when it comes to that's a great question. Everyone's different, every family's different. I know
Yeah.
that we didn't introduce a tablet to our daughter until she was let's see, until she was I think two-ish.
Yeah.
And the reason why, I'll tell you this, it's not like we gave her a tablet and just walked away and said, "All right, have
Yeah.
fun." Honestly, we had a long flight ahead of us. We flew from from LA to Charlotte, North Carolina. That
Oh
was a
wow.
5-hour flight, and we were delayed like hours. So we had gotten into this agreement, my wife and I, to get her a tablet to watch maybe like for an hour on the flight just to help kill some time. She's obviously gonna nap. And
Yeah.
then we brought it out after that, like long road trips or when we would fly again. Like it was just for us, that was the best thing to do because we didn't want her to get hooked on the tablet and want the tablet.
Yeah.
So that was a time where we introduced her. And till this
Good.
day, I mean, she doesn't really use her tablet, but maybe like a couple hours a week. But
Yeah.
it just started with that base foundation and that understanding that this isn't something that you're gonna get and have complete 24/7 access to, but there are restrictions and there are scenarios that we want you to have this tablet for entertainment purposes or even educational purposes because the Amazon tablets and the tablets that we'll mention are very educational. So that's
Yeah.
uh
That's
that's
good.
that's what we did. Yeah.
That's great. One of our partner organizations, the Digital Wellness Lab, if anyone out there wants to go and kind of see recommendations, they have some great science-backed, research-backed recommendations on what's appropriate when. But one of their founders, Dr. Rich, he talks about exactly what you guys did, Melvin, and being so intentional and strategic about, the way that you introduce it. And yeah, I think even recently you told me that your daughter said at one point that you considered it a win when she said, "Hey, I want to go outside and play." Like that's her default instead of picking up the tech.
Yeah. No,
That's incredible.
that's what I call a parenting flex. When your child chooses outdoors over technology. And it's a big one.
Thanks. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Well,
Yes.
hey, I'm proud of you. That's your dad of the year right there. So talking about tablets, there's a few we have here, and briefly, we just want to highlight kind of some details of why we think they're good products to consider. The first being the Amazon Fire HD8 Kids Pro. That was a mouthful. Now, with these Amazon tablets, I mean, they are very affordable. They are very widespread. They have some really solid parental controls. They also have kids profiles that can grow with your child as they get older. Also, if you've used a Kindle or any other Amazon Fire tablet before, you'll be familiar with many, many ads. And in many cases, you have to pay to get around those ads. If you don't mind seeing those, it's just something to be aware of. That can be a challenge when you're on the device. Also, it's important to keep in mind if you want a tablet that's going to grow with your child, this is not going to be ideal for creative projects or anything that requires a lot of computing, but for an entry-level tablet, this is perfect. Next up, we're recommending the iPad. And it's important to note, as over time, as there have been more and more of these iPads released, and now they have pro models, but they also have very basic entry-level models. And I think this one here is retailing for what, $300, Melvin? Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah. $300, which is actually not bad. I mean, it's, $300, you'll notice if that leaves your bank account for most people. But I mean, $300 for a device that can do so much and that your child can grow into and use it for multiple purposes. I mean, it's actually not a bad deal.
Yeah. And the iPad, I think, is ideal if you have a child who's really creative, who's into art, who wants to maybe play games or create or build and like Minecraft, for example, or something comparable to that. With an iPad, you're going to have more computing power. You're also going to have a really solid, just well-built device. They're very durable. And if you pair it especially with like an OtterBox or a good case, and your child is one who likes to, throw things or just, carry around a device that's going to get beat up, this is a great route to go. Also, you got to be aware of, it's really important to set up parental controls. And with the App Store, there are lots of apps available for your kids. So please watch our videos on Parent ProTech where we walk you through how to set up one correctly and safely to make sure that they have limitations and aren't just able to access anything on the App Store, on YouTube, on the web in general. And the last tablet I want to talk about is the LeapFrog LeapPad Academy. And let me tell you, this one's pretty full circle for me because I don't know about you, Melvin, but I grew up with a LeapFrog.
Yeah.
Or at least I remember plugging, it was like a LeapFrog. It's not a disc. Maybe it was a disc, but we had this LeapFrog like USB thing maybe that we would plug into our big tank of a desktop computer at home. And then, I would wait 3 minutes for it to launch and then open it and it would begin. And it's really funny now when you think about that in comparison to how short our attention spans are.
Yeah. No, seriously. And shout out to LeapFrog because they've stayed relevant throughout like generations. Like they continue to stay on the shelf and continue to push toward innovation and just, they're such a trusted brand because you really do learn. I mean, it's very educational. You can trust them with that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I mean, I love it.
Yeah, if you know you want to have a curated library of educational content, educational interactive experiences, I think the LeapFrog is a great place to begin. You're not going to have all the potential risks that are going to come with some of these other tablets, but you're just going to have an educational machine that's built with kids in mind. Consider the LeapFrog because it's a great tool for that. And a couple just quick downsides about the LeapFrog is you have to remember kids can outgrow it quickly because it is going to have that curated educational experience as they grow up. They might not be eager to use a LeapFrog. It might be kind of limited in experiences. And at the same time, it is going to be a lower resolution, more just a limited tablet in general. But for educational purposes, this one's a win.
Yeah. And brain rot is not included. So.
Brain rot is not included. Your child will not be scrolling TikTok for hours on the LeapFrog.
Yeah, that's right.
And if they do figure out a way to do that, you might need to go ahead and enroll them in college because they're really smart.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
on the bright side, they have a promising career ahead of them.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. As we begin the section on gaming consoles, we had to begin with the Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Switch 2. I mean, I don't know about you, Melvin, or actually I do know about you because we've talked about this. You and I both grew up on Nintendo games. Wait, is that a Switch?
Yeah, this is a Switch.
I didn't. Wow, cool.
I spent half of my workday playing on it, but that's why it's new.
It comes to the Switch, and Nintendo in particular, they have a great curated library of just fun, family-friendly games that I think most of us can recommend without any reservation. I mean, do you have a favorite Nintendo game or Nintendo console?
Yeah, just my favorite growing up was Super Smash Brothers. I played it on Nintendo 64, played it on the Wii, played it on the GameCube, and it's just one of those classics. I love how you get to choose your characters, and it's just you can get the whole family involved. And I was good at it, so that's always a plus. But yeah, it was a fun game. How about yours?
I would think I loved Madden on the Wii. I also love Mario Kart. That was always a family friendly one. And then I had a Nintendo DS that like flipped up, and I played Nintendogs, and I got to take care of some dogs. Those are my
wow. So all of today is being taken care of because of those seeds and training that was planted with the DS.
Where do you think I learned all this? Yeah, obviously. So,
that's awesome.
Families, the takeaway here is think about the Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo Switch 2. The big difference, there's lots of new features, capability, also even more robust parental controls that come with the Switch 2. The other big difference is the price. So the Switch, the first Switch, the OG Switch, right now will run you about $200 to $300. The second one, as it's so new, you're looking at $450 to $500 plus if you're getting a bundle with games and other things included. So depending on your budget, that might be out of your budget, but really, I think you can't go wrong with either one of these.
And one of the biggest things about the Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Switch 2 is that you can actually play it handheld like this, play the same games, or you can connect it to the base and then you can play it on the TV so the whole family can see it on the TV instead of the screen. This is more so for like individual play. So if your child's playing it in the car, let's say, or on a trip, and then the TV, Friday game nights, you can play with the whole family on the TV, which is such a genius thing. Like I love that they have that feature. Yeah.
And our last recommendation on the console front is the Nex Playground. If you haven't heard of this device, the really neat aspect is it's designed to be placed in a central space where you can play games that are tailored to get you active. They were built with where your actual controller, there's no controller, it's your body. So your body is moving around in real time, and that's what determines the game. Now, with this in mind, the downside is I've heard that it can be difficult to use in tighter spaces. I was at a friend's home recently, and my friend was showing me how, because his living room is a little smaller and because it doesn't always have a ton of natural light, the Nex Playground a lot of times has some challenges in that environment where it'll pick up if they have someone on the couch and someone in front playing a game. It'll confuse the movements and sometimes just be a little difficult from a user experience side of things. But he said overall he really likes the device. So just keep that in mind depending on your space.
Yeah, 100%. And then the games are available with like a Game Pass. So you do separately from the Nex Playground actual console that you buy. You have to buy a Game Pass to allow you to play a bunch of other games, like their library of games that are available. This might be a pro or a con. You're not having to buy individual games, but rather you just buy a subscription and then you have access to the games. Nex Playground by itself comes with 5 different games like Fruit Ninja and a few others just out of the box.
Also on the subscription front, for that Game Pass, it's $49 for 3 months right now or $89 for a full year. And that's just a one-time payment of $89. So it's not a terrible price, but that is a downside to keep in mind. But I mean, when you're comparing it to the cost of buying a single game for an Xbox or PlayStation, it's a lot more affordable.
Yeah, 100%. You get a lot more games. It's a lot more affordable. Yes.
Now, Melvin, let's talk about games. And I know you're the expert on this front. So can you talk us through some recommendations we have there?
Yeah, no. Along with those awesome consoles you just recommended, Joshua, some safe games for your family. We included a few suggestions. So one of them is Gabby's Dollhouse, which had a huge year this year because actually came out with a movie this year, so your child might want a game, especially if they like the show, they watched the movie. Well, now you can get them the game for Christmas, and it encourages creativity and has a bunch of mini games. And then the next game that we recommend, if you're looking for a fun game to include the whole family, then Lego Party is the way to go. It was actually recently released this past September of 2025. This game just came out. It's a ton of fun. And it reminds me a lot of Mario Party. If you've ever played Mario Party, where it has like a bunch of mini games, except this one's with Lego. So I think it's pretty awesome. If your child watches the Lego Masters Juniors or any of the Lego Masters shows, like this would be just a fun game to include in their Christmas list. And I believe there's like 60 mini games in that game. Now, last but not least, for the Nintendo Switch, we recommend Pokemon Legends Z through A, which is the latest installment of the Pokemon series. So shout out to those millennials listening who remember Pokemon Gold and Pokemon Silver. That was the game that everyone was playing when I was a kid. And if you remember, then go ahead and drop us a comment below. But do you remember playing those Pokemon games, Joshua?
It's so funny because I raised my hand more so to the millennial aspect, but I was thinking about, I was a little later growing up, and Pokemon Go was big when I was growing up.
Yes, Pokemon Go. That's
Actually,
the one where like people went outside and were looking for the Pokemon everywhere.
And people are logging like thousands of miles, collectively of steps, just from this game that's encouraging people to get up and walk around and go find these Pokemon characters.
Yeah, no, that was awesome to see that encouraging people. I never participated. I think I was too old at that point, too busy in life. But that was actually pretty cool to see just people all out, and there was a lot of community that was being built through that. Cool. Yeah. Not a lot of times where you can actually get people out of the house playing video games.
I know. Yeah.
For that.
Touching grass and playing video games. Yeah, it's rare. It's rare.
Good combination. Yeah. And now, Joshua, do you want to tell our audience about the Nintendo Switch 2 recommendations that we have?
Oh, yeah. And also, we have to highlight, if you had a Switch 1 and games for the Switch 1, you can still play them on the Switch 2. So it is backward compatible for those previous titles. But a few of these we have to highlight. Number one, Donkey Kong Bananza. This was fast-paced. It's fun. Again, family-friendly. Donkey Kong. You can't go wrong. Building on this, Mario Kart World. Now, this is, I would say, if you have a family or more than one person and you want to even play in a group setting, this would be the perfect game for that. I know I personally have logged hundreds of hours of Mario Kart joy with my friends and family over the years, especially on the Wii. My wife and Alexa and I still have a Wii, funny enough, with Mario Kart.
Oh, wow. Let's go. Keep that. It'll be worth a lot of money someday.
Yeah. And I'm even thinking now, I'm like, I kind of want to buy a Switch too, just for this type experience, because that is just so fun. It really is.
Yeah, I do like that they brought back the gameplay in stores. So like if you go to a Target, you can actually play the Nintendo Switch and see it for yourself.
Yeah.
And you can play Mario Kart World. My daughter plays it and she loves it. And I've noticed there's so much more worlds and characters. Like they did a really good job.
Melvin, maybe we'll go to Target this weekend. That's
Let's go.
You're selling me. We've talked about Donkey Kong, Mario Kart. The last one is Sonic X Shadow Generations. Now, there's so much nostalgia related to Sonic, so this kind of builds on that and brings it into 2025 and right now with a clean game that's fast-paced. So definitely a fun one for the family.
Yeah, I mean, and if you remember Sonic growing up, this is it. You're gonna be able to introduce your child to Sonic gaming. Like, you have the movies, but now you have the gaming that's going to be a really, I think, nostalgic moment for you, and just a cool introduction to the world of Sonic for your child, so they can put, the game and the movie together. Because I think that sometimes that's the element that's missing, is for your child to actually experience the video game themselves. And so they do a good job of combining the classic Sonic with a new updated version of Sonic in this game. So I think that's pretty cool. And I mean, it's a fun, safe game. So pretty cool. Next, we have cameras. And as a photographer myself, this category actually holds a special place in my heart. I love cameras, not just taking pictures, but I just love capturing moments. And I know that your child will too. It's always interesting to see what kids capture. Like if you hand a kid a camera, I love looking to see what are they seeing. Like when I give my daughter a camera, what is she capturing? Mostly pictures of me sleeping on the couch, but I want to see what, it's really cool
Yeah.
to see what they see through their lens and what they focus on. So this is a great way to just kind of like bolster up their creativity and use it as a tool. But before I get started on our recommendations, Josh, I want to ask you, if I were to give 7, 8-year-old Joshua a camera, what do you think you would take photos of mostly?
Well, I got my first camera I think I was a teen, so it was a little later. But 7, 8-year-old Joshua, I loved football. I loved Legos. Honestly, I was really bought into Legos at that point. So I think I'd probably just be taking pictures of my Lego creations. Yeah,
Nice.
that would be it.
Nice.
That would be it.
That's smart. Because I mean,
Yeah,
how else are you going to prove that you built a life-size castle if you don't have the photos to
yeah.
prove it?
And, when I did get my camera a few years later, my first camera, when I look back on those pictures, they're kind of hilarious because it was just me walking around our neighborhood like, here's a road sign, here's a tree, here's a bird, here's a mailbox. So
Bet
it
you've never
is.
seen one of these before.
And actually, I also found I had taken some selfies, which this is like before the selfie camera was on a smartphone. Really there were mirror pictures. Like I had to be in front of a mirror.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah.
but that was the OG selfie. So
Man, you were ahead of your time.
I was. Apple got the idea from me. So
Yeah, yeah, that's true. You trailblazed that. The first camera we want to go over is the Agoigo camera. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. I might be butchering it.
3 times fast, Melvin. 3 times fast.
I, I can't. But anyways, it is a waterproof and shockproof camera. It includes games in the camera as well that's integrated. It's perfect for young kids and it's extremely affordable. Now, we also recommend the VTech. It's the VTech KidiZoom Dual Camera, which is also a very durable camera. It includes games, but it is not waterproof. Now, it does have the option for parents to actually switch the games off and place time limits to encourage less screen time. So I think that that's
Wow.
pretty cool. Yeah, I
A
mean, that's
camera with games and screen time restrictions.
yeah. 2025. And then the last camera that I want to mention, and it feels like, since all teens nowadays want to be a content creator and influencer, we have the ZV-1F, which is perfect for vlogging and also right out of the box has everything you need to get started and is very, very easy to use. It's very intuitive. It has a little flip out screen so you can record yourself on vlogging, has the mic so you don't need to attach an external mic, and just a quality 4K. And, Sony's always produce very, very reliable, great quality cameras. So that's why we
Yeah.
recommend.
And one little tip in here too. So many of the students we hear from say, I want to be a content creator. I want to be an Instagrammer, a YouTuber, insert social media platform here. And we get that. But I would also say, I know you want to support your child's ambitions, but so many great content creators also just use smartphones. So if you're looking for a good place to begin, and maybe you have a smartphone, hey, maybe they can get creative with the camera there. And give them some time and see if it's still an interest. And then later, you can make the jump to invest in an actual camera. Just a thought.
That's a really good point. I love that.
But that's not me recommending you buy your child a smartphone. just for the record, okay? Yeah, maybe buy them a kid-safe smartphone like the ones we recommended above. But yeah, that's not me saying go buy your child a smartphone.
Thanks for pointing that out. And now we want to take some time to switch to some non-tech gifts. So we understand that, hey, it's not always a screen that is a gift. We want to give you the gift of outdoors, the gift of spending time together off of the screen. So now we have some awesome recommendations when it comes to non-tech gifts. And Joshua, you want to start us off?
Yeah, I think some of my best memories from childhood and honestly from adulthood are when I'm with a group, I'm with my family, with some friends, and we're not surrounded. I'm looking for my phone. I was going to say we're not surrounded by our phones, but I'm actually looking at my phone. We're not surrounded by, we're not on social media. We're not on our devices. We're just present with each other. And that's what these next games are designed to help foster. And it's just community. Our first recommendation here is Blank Slate. Now, this game is built on communication and writing skills, but it's also a challenge. It's a party game where players are secretly trying to match their word with one other player. Now, again, maybe not as friendly for younger kids, but for the older kids, this is a fun one. Lots of moments of just laughter and humor along the way. Our next recommendation is a Gravitrax starter set. So this is actually a STEM marble run system. That's a mouthful, but it's really designed to get kids to engineer, build, and create in unique ways and just get them thinking outside of the box. So really fun, hands-on game right here. And our last one is Happy Salmon, or as my mom says, Salmon. I'm joking. I love mine. This one is a loud, fast-paced card game. Players have 90 seconds where they're shouting and performing actions. Really fun, and just a great way to kind of break the ice, too. If you have a group of people over and you want to play something fun, really fun.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it's one of those games that you bring to a family gathering, or you bring to friend's house, or some kind of gathering, and you'll become a favorite because it's such a fun game. I think any game where you can get loud, it just, like, the louder it gets, I feel like the meter for fun just kind of goes up. Right? Have you noticed that? Like, no one ever says, like, you think about chess, right? And it's just a quiet game, but you don't hear no one saying, like, I had a blast playing chess last week. It was just peaceful.
Never.
You know what I mean? And I think the louder things get, the more like, I don't know if that's some kind of psychological thing, but the louder the game gets, the more fun it becomes.
Yeah.
So go figure.
And fun.
Loud and fun. It's a combination right there.
Okay, Melvin, take us home. You have a few more like fun and really interactive games?
Yeah. To wrap it all up, we have a few more non-tech gifts that we recommend. First one being a Pickleball starter kit. You can actually use this starter kit in your driveway. If you don't have a driveway, that's fine. Take it to the park. But you can actually basically have a pickleball set with you at all times. Keep it in your car and, make a quick stop at a park, or even set it up at your home and play a full game of pickleball. This encourages families to just get out there to play. And I do want to mention that parents, be sure to start stretching at least an hour before playing. You'll thank me later. Trust me. I actually just played pickleball for the first time a few weeks ago, and man, I was a lot more sore than I thought I would be playing pickleball. It's just such a fun game.
That's the truth. I've been playing for a few years now. Even as a 20-something, I was getting beat by 60-somethings. So there's a lot of strategy and a lot of skill in the game too, but it's also just a fun introductory level game.
Yeah.
For everybody.
Yes. For everybody. Everybody can play this game, which I think is one of the best parts. And then the next recommendation we have is the PlasmaCar Lightning Glow Rider. I mean, that's a mouthful, but it's like one of those little carts that your child can ride. I mean, they could ride it in the house, or they can ride it outside, but it's just that perfect companion to get them on the go if they don't know how to ride a bike yet, or they're not on training wheels yet. I mean, this is just a great toy to just kind of start there, and to get your child to get the energy out of them, because a lot of kids have a lot of energy at that age. So this is just a great starting point. And then last but not least, we have Spikeball, and this is a Spikeball game set. Spikeball, you like Spikeball?
Love Spikeball. It's my beach game of choice. Not very Christmassy. I love it.
Depending where you live in the country or in the world, you can actually play this year round. And that's what I was going to mention. I mean, it's perfect for the beach trips, and just get the family active. And I will say that the same rules for stretching for pickleball apply for Spikeball as well. So don't forget.
And they also have a glow-in-the-dark Spikeball too. So.
Oh, do they really?
They do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's perfect for daylight savings time when it gets dark at 3:00. Great.
When it's so depressingly dark by the time we
I
finish our workday.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's wild. But I hope you enjoyed our video. Joshua and I had so much fun. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. You can learn more about what we do at Parent ProTech at parentprotech.com.
I'd encourage you to go to parentprotech.com for two things. Number one, grab our gift guide. We'll also put the link down below. But number two, if you have a question about the tech that your kids are using, maybe it's a video game, maybe it's an app, maybe it's a social media platform, you need help with parental controls or just how to look out for your kid when they're online, I'd encourage you to reach out to us. We have loads of resources we'd be happy to send you. And just really together, we're trying to help you begin the conversations and just be aware of everything that comes with this online world so that you can parent and lead confidently. That's our goal at the end of the day.
So thank you again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Black Friday.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Hanukkah.
Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah. All of the above. Bye, everyone.